This kid is absolutely unreal, and I thought this last week, and I confirmed it this week. He's already better than Victor Wembanyama. Over the past few weeks, I've been watching a young man, and I was so close. When I tell you I mean it, I was so close to making this video last week, but I was like, nah, I'm probably overreacting. I'm jumping the fence on this. I don't need to make the video. I was sitting there trying to convince myself that I was overhyping the situation and I was gassing it up. I told myself, give it a week, and by this time next week, if I feel the same way, we'll make the video. And obviously putting two and two together, yeah, here we are. This kid is absolutely unreal, and I thought this last week, and I confirmed it this week. He's already better than Victor Wembanyama. I get it, that's a bold statement, but hear me out and I'll explain why. And oh yeah, I haven't even introduced him. My bad. I know some of you are sitting there going, Matt, who in the crap are you talking about? Well, my friend, that's a great question. I have an even better answer. I'm talking about no other than Cooper Flagg. I'm going to say that again because in a couple of years, you're going to hear his name called in the NBA draft, and I'd be shocked if he isn't a top 3 pick. Cooperflagg. Cooper Flagg. Remember the name. This kid is only 16 years old. And yes, at 16 years old, I think he's better right now than Victor Wembanyama. And like I said, I'll explain my reasoning for that in just a second. If I was an NBA team and I could either choose 19-year-old current Victor Wembanyama or current 16-year-old Cooper Flagg, I'm taking Cooper Flagg, and it's not even close. Now, before we go any farther, I also need to make this clear. If you've been watching the channel for a while, most of you know this, I don't even talk about and I don't hype up high school recruits, whether it's basketball, football, water polo, lacrosse, it don't matter. I don't talk about them much. And the reason for that is fairly simple. I don't get too worked up and excited when I see these 3, 4, and 5-star recruits in football or basketball dominate the high school competition, because 99.8% of the people they play in high school are going to be working for Grubhub and Uber Eats. You can say what you want, but it's the reality. 99% of the players these 3, 4, and 5-star recruits are playing in high school are going to be selling car insurance in the future. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's the reason I don't get too hyped up and I don't really get, what's the word I'm looking for, overly excited when one of these kids has a 500-yard passing game in football or a 40-point triple-double in basketball, because you're not playing anybody. Every single team in high school, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, normally has 1 to 2 really good players, and that's it. So with that being said, it's really hard to evaluate these young kids, especially nowadays, because we see all these guys having hoop mixtapes. And think about it, all these guys that have had hoop mixtapes over the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they didn't even make it to the league. Who's some guys that come to my mind? Corey Sanders. Y'all remember that one. You got to be an OG to remember Corey Sanders. Kyrie Walker, that one comes to my mind. Where's that dude at? Who's some other ones? Akil Carr. You get the point. So I wanted to make that clear, and if you've been watching the videos, you already know this. Your boy Matt doesn't talk about high school players much. So therefore, if I do, you better believe it's a big time deal. So I know what you're sitting there saying. Well, okay, Matt, you don't talk about high school kids. What separates this kid? Why is he unreal? This is going to be a bold take, but I firmly believe it. I think 16-year-old Cooper Flagg, and if you watched him, I think you probably can vouch for me. I think 16-year-old Cooper Flagg could play in the NBA. I'm not saying he'd dominate the NBA. I'm not saying he'd even be a decent player, but I think he could play in it. And as far as it goes for the G League, yeah, I think he could be playing in the G League or the Summer League right now and doing an A-OK job. I don't want to get into all that quite just yet, but a main reason I also waited a week to make this video is because this week, Peach Jam's going on, or it went on, it just wrapped up. If you don't know what the Peach Jam is, are you even a basketball player? It's where the best of the best face off in arguably one of the biggest it's not arguably, it is the biggest AAU tournament of the summer. To dumb this down to the people that don't keep up with AAU basketball on the circuit, Peach Jam is pretty much your future NBA players playing against each other. The cream of the crop, the best of the best, are at Peach Jam. To put this into a better perspective, at the Peach Jam, everybody in the starting 5 is pretty much D1 or low D1. When it comes to your 6th, 7th, and 8th men, even some of those guys are going D2, D1. I can't dumb it down more than that. It's simple. The Peach Jam is the best of the best. Well, in this Peach Jam for Cooper Flagg, I'm just going to show you a sample size. Here's his stat line, or his stat lines, my bad, from 3 games. 34 points, 20 rebounds, 10 blocks, 5 assists. 37 points, 12 rebounds, 10 blocks, 6 assists. And 38 points, 16 rebounds, 12 blocks, and 6 assists. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And as crazy as those numbers look and sound, his play on the court is even better. The word of this video is going to be unreal. I've never seen a 16-year-old do the things he does. And what is so uncanny about him is he looks like an NBA player. The feel he has for the game, the IQ he has, is very rare for a 16-year-old. I've seen some 18-year-olds, some 19-year-olds have that feel for the game, but nothing quite like this. And what was so surreal about him and his performance at the Peach Jam is he's doing this against the best of the best, and I can't emphasize that enough. He's throwing the ball at the backboard, doing self alley-oops. It looks like he's playing chumps. If you didn't know anything about AAU, you wouldn't even know he's playing the best of the best competition this weekend. And by the way, I just got done watching the finals. His team unfortunately did lose. They lost to the Boozer Twins, but just for his team to even get there is unreal. It's freaking Maine. If you watched the finals that just got done wrapping up, you know what I'm talking about. His team, not that good. There's only a couple good players on his team. It's him and, ironically enough, or coincidentally enough, his twin brother, Ace Flag. But outside of that, they're not really that good, and honestly, I felt bad for Cooper Flag in the championship game because he had no help. I didn't even know Maine had AAU basketball. The fact that a team from Maine made it to the championship of Peach Jam, that's got to be history alone. And I'm not trying to knock on my Maine Hoopers, but y'all get what I'm saying. It's Maine. And even in the championship game that wrapped up today, which is Sunday, by the way, Cooper Flag didn't even play that good, and they had a chance to win it at the end. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean it in the most respectful way possible, but his teammates, they're not up to par. Take this how you want, but all of his teammates outside of his brother, they wouldn't have been at the Peach Jam if it wasn't for Cooper Flag and his twin brother. I will leave it at that. You can do what you want with that information. But here's what leaves me in awe with Cooper Flag. He's 6'9", probably, I'd say 215, 220. And he's great at everything. Defense, he's an A+. I mean, you saw the stat sheet. He's averaging like 10 blocks a game. He's great at defense. But what separates him in my eyes is normally, and a lot of times, your guys that are 6'9", 6'10", they're not coordinated. They're not very athletic. Like, for example, Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, he's 7'4", and I stated this a couple videos ago, or actually the last video. I think he's too tall for his own good. Victor Wembanyama is so lanky and long arm, it's almost a bad thing because you can't even cross over and dribble without it getting poked away. Wembanyama's so tall, and this happens, and it looks this way for a lot of people, it looks like he's running out there on the court with 2 left shoes on. But with Cooper Flag, I wouldn't even say he's skinny. His body's already filling out, and he's 16 years old. To go on top of that, has great hand-eye coordination. A lot of guys at that size don't, so I gotta bring it up. And I know that sounds like something that is common, but it's really not for guys at that size. And Cooper Flag can handle the ball with the best of them. I've seen him pin shots on the backboard at Peach Jam, grab the rebound, take it one-on-one or really one-on-4, and dunk on the opposing team. I'm not saying he's LeBron James, but he looks like the white LeBron out there. But the best part about his game is he looks smooth out there. He looks comfortable. He knows what he's doing. A lot of guys are athletic. A lot of guys have a great body, but they don't know how to use it. Case point and example, Victor Wembanyama. He even stated, oh yeah, I didn't even know what I was doing out there. What do you mean you don't know what you're doing out there? It's basketball, man. Put the ball in the hoop and defend. Gosh, that made me so mad. I didn't want to get started on that rant. Getting back on track here with Cooper Flag, he's got a smooth game. He understands if he's got a mismatch, he's going to bang down low, and you're not going to stop him. On top of that, he can pop out and shoot the 3 like it's nothing. He did struggle today shooting the 3, but he's got a great stroke. He's going to be just fine. He's also really good when it comes to pull-up mid-ranges, and he hit a step-back 3 today in the first half. I was like, this dude's ready for a league right now. He's 6'9", 220, only 16 years old, and he already has NBA moves in his bag. That's dangerous. And unlike Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama and all these tall freaks that everybody glazes and derides, Cooper Flag welcomes contact. He's physical. You know what? Hold on. Let me just show you this video clip. Matt wrote a clip. The reason I wanted to show you that is just so you get a perspective at how explosive he is. Guys like Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama ain't explosive like that. I'm going to show you one more video clip that I really like. It's unreal. Matt wrote a clip. Yeah. Sometimes actions, they speak louder than words. I ain't even going to say nothing about that. I'll let you guys say what you want about that clip in the comment section. I'm going to use the word of this video, unreal. This dude can play, man. He can play. He makes Victor Wembanyama look like a chump. A C-H-U-M-P chump. This dude's so good, a matter of fact, I just had to make a video praising him because that's how good I think he is. Let me know if you've seen Cooper Flag before, and if you haven't, let me know your thoughts on him from these video clips I've shown you in this video. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below about that.